All right, so are you ready to dive into a new career path today?
Always. Hit me with it.
This one is about as hands-on as it gets. Aircraft interior technician.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're talking about the folks who outfit the insides of those planes we fly in.
Exactly. And we've got some awesome roll catcher guides on this. It's way more involved than I ever imagined.
It's true. Most people just think about, getting a comfy seat, but there's a whole lot more to it.
So let's break it down. What exactly does an aircraft interior technician DO? Like, what's their day-to-day look like?
Well, think about everything you see and touch when you step onto a plane. Obviously, you've got the seats.
Right, and the carpets, and don't even get me started on those overhead bins.
Exactly. They handle all of that. Installing it, maintaining it, repairing it. It's a huge responsibility.
So they're like the architects of the whole passenger experience in a way.
They are. They take these designs and actually bring them to life, making sure everything is functional and safe. And get this, they're even using 3D printing now for some cabin parts.
Whoa, seriously? Like what?
Things like air vents, reading light fixtures, even some of the trim. It's changing the game in terms of efficiency and customization.
That's wild. I learn something new every time we do this. Okay, so we're talking about a blend of like traditional craftsmanship with cutting-edge tech.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so interesting. You need both those hands-on skills and a real comfort level with technology.
Right, because you're essentially building these tiny, perfectly designed living spaces, except they have to fly at 30,000 feet.
And meet incredibly strict safety standards. Remember, everything inside that cabin has to be able to withstand the stresses of flight and meet all sorts of regulations.
That's a lot of pressure, no pun intended. So you've got to be detail-oriented, comfortable with tech.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What other kind of personality thrives in this kind of job?
Well, you've got to be a problem solver. Things are going to break, need adjustments. You're on a deadline to get that plane back in the air. You can't crumble under pressure.
Makes sense. So let's say someone's listening to this and they're intrigued by the hands-on aspect of technology, the whole aviation angle. What would be a good first step toward becoming an aircraft interior technician?
That's where those RoleCatcher guides come in handy. They've got some really practical tips for breaking into this field.
Perfect. Let's take a look at those right after this. So we're back and ready to dig into those RoleCatcher tips. What's their take on breaking into the world of aircraft interiors?
Well, they're big on hands-on experience.
That makes sense. You can't just like read a manual and be ready to work on a plane.
Exactly. So they actually recommend looking for internships while you're still in school, or even after if you're making a career switch.
Oh, interesting. So where would someone even find an internship like that?
RoleCatcher has you covered. They've got a whole section on their site dedicated to connecting people with internships at like aircraft manufacturers, maintenance and repair stations, even airlines themselves.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I didn't even know those opportunities existed.
They're out there, and RoleCatcher makes them easy to find. And another thing they emphasize is building a portfolio.
Okay, a portfolio? Now, how do you showcase, like, wiring and upholstery?
It's more about having visuals, pictures of projects you've worked on, even if it's just from an internship or a class.
Right. Proof that you've got the skills and the eye for detail.
Exactly. It shows you're serious, you're passionate. And speaking of showcasing your best self, let's talk about interviews.
Oh, yeah, because that's where the nerves can really kick in.
For sure. But RoleCatcher has this incredible AI-powered interview prep tool that can be a game changer.
I was going to say, I was a little skeptical when I first saw that. Like, how much can AI really help with something as, human as an interview?
Right. But honestly, it's pretty impressive. It analyzes the job description, your CV, even your application answers to predict what questions they're likely to throw at you.
No way.
Yeah.
So it's like having a sneak peek at the interview before you even walk in the door.
Kind of. But it gets even better. They have you record yourself answering those practice questions and then give you AI-powered feedback on your delivery.
Whoa. That's next level. It's like having a personal interview coach, but like 24/7.
Right. No more awkward silences or rambling answers. It analyzes your tone, your pacing, even your body language.
Okay, that's huge.
Yeah.
Especially because those nonverbal cues can say so much. So let's say you nail the interview thanks to RoleCatcher. You get the job. Do they just like leave you hanging at that point?
Not at all. They actually provide a ton of resources for continuous learning and career development.
Oh, interesting. What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, they lay out potential career paths, like maybe you start as a general technician, but then specialize in, say, avionics or upholstery later on.
So they help you kind of map out your trajectory in the field.
Exactly. And they point you toward relevant certifications you could earn to boost your skills and your earning potential.
Like having a roadmap for success in the palm of your hand.
It really is. And they even have a whole section on networking, which is crucial in any field, but especially in aviation.
Right, like knowing the right people can open so many doors.
Exactly. So they suggest industry events, conferences, online forums, all sorts of ways to connect with other professionals.
This is amazing. And we haven't even touched on their integrated job board yet, which, by the way, is a lifesaver.
I know, right? No more endless scrolling through different websites trying to keep track of it all. RoleCatcher pulls listings from everywhere.
It's a game changer. And then there's that CV analysis tool they have. I used that for the first time recently, and let me tell you, it's a confidence booster.
I was just about to say that. I love how it scores your CV against the job description. You know instantly where you stand.
It's like having a second set of eyes, making sure you're putting your best foot forward. I'm so impressed with how much thought RoleCatcher has put into every stage of this process.
Me too. And the best part is, a lot of these features are free.
Seriously, that's fantastic. So even if you're just starting to explore this career path, you can access a wealth of resources without spending a dime.
Exactly. But they do offer a premium subscription called RoleCatcher Copilot AI if you want to take things to the next level.
Okay, so what makes the premium version worth the investment? So the Copilot AI, it's like next level personalized, right? What's it do that the free version doesn't?
Well, for starters, it really helps you fine-tune your CV and cover letters.
Fine-tune how?
It's not just about keywords. It actually analyzes the job description and helps you restructure your whole CV to highlight the most relevant experience.
Oh, wow. So it's like having a professional resume writer, but like an AI one.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just the CV. The Copilot AI also helps you answer those really specific application questions.
Oh, those are the worst. The ones that are like, describe a time you demonstrated leadership while simultaneously juggling 5 flaming chainsaws.
Exactly. But with Copilot AI, you get AI-generated suggestions tailored to you and that specific job.
Okay, that would save me a lot of stress in my early job hunting days. So it's like having a career coach whispering in your ear throughout the whole application process.
Exactly. And on top of all that, you still get everything from the free plan, the interview practice, the career guides, all of it.
Wow, so they really pack it all in.
They really do. They've truly thought of everything to make your job search as smooth and successful as possible.
I love that.
Uh,
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive. We talked about the ins and outs of being an aircraft interior technician.
the skills you need, the challenges you might face, the incredible technology involved.
And of course, how RoleCatcher can help you not just land a job, but really launch a career in this field.
A career that's hands-on, always evolving, and contributes to something truly essential, safe, and comfortable air travel.
It's pretty inspiring. If someone's listening to this thinking, maybe that's for me, what would you say to encourage them to take that next step?
I'd say, don't ignore that feeling. Go for it. Do some research, check out those RoleCatcher resources we talked about, and most importantly, believe in your own potential. You might surprise yourself.
Absolutely. And maybe the next time you're on a plane, you'll look around and think, hey, I could be a part of this world.
Exactly. The sky's the limit.
There it is. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep reaching for those dreams.